Manchester United have lost 2-0 away at Spurs. More horseshit for Manchester United, more bollocks. Erik ten Hag's put out the exact same starting lineup as he did in the previous game where we were dog shit against Wolves, and a lot of people were massively concerned about that from the off. But the options just are not on the bench. You look at the options there are a couple of options. He probably should have gone for dropping Mason Mount and putting Eriksen in there and bringing Sancho in as the false nine and putting dropping Garnacho and putting Rashford back out on the left. But yet again, Manchester United absolutely fucking toothless going forward. Can't score goals. We've been pretty much like that for pretty much most of Ten Hag's reign. If you look at it, that we've struggled to score goals, and much the same again today as against Wolves. To be honest, have not been able to score goals. I know some people thought the first half all right, but then second half, 2 goals we've let in. To be honest, I know people are going to complain about that penalty shout. Yes, it probably should have been a penalty, but that doesn't disrupt the fact that Manchester United shouldn't be relying on a penalty to get them through games of football. And this geezer has spent a shit ton of money at Manchester United, and have we really improved that much? Now, I've been massively concerned for a long while. I've slaughtered a lot of these players, and again today, it's not good enough. Anthony again not good enough. Rashford not good enough. I've criticised players like Bruno in the past. People know my thoughts on Rashford and Bruno these last couple of seasons. But where do Manchester United go now? I'm seeing all over Twitter that Manchester United need to go out and spend a shitload of money. But really, this geezer has spent a shit ton of money at Manchester United. He's been given a number of players at Manchester United. We're still playing fucking Luke Shaw at left back. I mean, he's brought in a new left back. Okay, he's injured at the moment, but he hasn't been good enough. You cannot blame it all on the fact that we need more signings, because these players out there should be performing under this manager a lot better than we have done. We really should. I mean, the writing for me was, I've not been confident going into this season because the writing was on the wall for me at the end of last season. We had a number of shit performances. We drew to this lot 2-2 at the end of, not long before the end of last season when we were 2-0 up. And things around that period were dog shit. West Ham, we lost 1-0. I think it was 1-0 against Brighton, 2-0 against Newcastle. These were all games in the last couple, 2 or 3 months of the season. Slaville 3-0. They were all back end of last season, and we've taken that into this season. I was very concerned. The signings were not at the level that I wanted going into this season, and I'm massively concerned for Erik ten Hag and the season, to be honest, whether we can improve, because this football is absolutely dead football, and if we're not winning games of football, are people going to part with this shitty football under this geezer if we're not winning games of football? It is a massive concern for me. We're now 3 points behind a number of teams. You're looking at the way that Brighton have started this season, how well they play football. You look at the way Newcastle play football. Manchester United are nothing like that. And we've spent so much more money than the likes of Brighton. And the football is just drops for me, in my opinion, just not good enough. I just don't see where Manchester United are actually going under this guy. I'm not saying that we should turn around and sack him after this game, but I just don't see where the progression is. I don't see what we're actually going, what the style is, what we're trying to do. The midfield. I mean, I'm not completely critical of Casemiro, because you've got Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount there, who I didn't think was going to work personally, playing them two in midfield with Casemiro. I thought that was a disaster waiting to happen, to be honest, and I think that you'd be better off with someone else in midfield, maybe a McTominay or someone else, but the options are not very good. You look along the substitutes bench, I mean, he left it late enough to bring on the substitutes, but you're looking on the bench besides Sancho to come on, and maybe Eriksen. What are you fucking bringing off the bench? You're bringing off Martial, who's fucking always injured, Palestri, who's a bit part player, not good enough, would never get on the bench at Arsenal, Man City, these fucking man's teams. and you're scratching your head at the shit on the bench, and the amount of money that this guy spent, Solskjaer spent, all these geezers have spent, it's just not good enough, whether it's the recruitment team or the managers. But to me, it looks like this manager has been backed. He has brought in players that he wanted. He wanted Malacia, he wanted Ericsson, he wanted Mason Mount, he wanted Højlund. These are players that he wanted by the looks of it. Some of these players, alright, Onana's looked good so far for Manchester United. He's probably looked about a decent signing, and hopefully he'll go on and do bits for Manchester United. But these are players that Erik ten Hag wanted, so he I mean, we can't turn around and say that he should be signing a hell of a lot more. But I don't know, it is where Manchester United currently are. When you look at the fact that he is begging Manchester United to basically sign Johnny Evans, you look at where Manchester United are, and you think, can Manchester United make the top 4 this season? Because I was concerned, because last season I did say, although the Manchester United improved and got in that top 4 and finished 3rd, part of it was because the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool were so fucking poor last season, and Spurs as well. And none of them 3, as I said at the start of the season, will be as poor. Even though Tottenham got rid of Harry Kane, I said they're not going to be as poor now this season. And we're gonna see that. I mean, Newcastle have improved. Brighton look like they're improving, even when they've lost players. It's going to be difficult for Manchester United to get in that, even get in that top 4 this season. And top 4 shouldn't be Manchester United's aim. We should be looking to mount a challenge. Real Madrid wouldn't part with this. Barcelona wouldn't part with this shit. So why should Manchester United? We're put up for it for too long. We can't hide behind the Glazers all the time. Yes, they're a massive problem for Manchester United. Yes, I want them to fuck off. I do. But today, this was not all on the Glazers. Players making mistakes. I mean, for me, players like Luke Shaw not good enough. Martinez has been poor since he's come back from injury. Not good enough. And as I'm not making Casemiro to be a scapegoat, he was poor as well. I mean, it's just not good enough for Manchester United, and we've spent a lot of money. 70 million was on Casemiro. I think it would change if we had a better midfield, but just it is a massive concern this season. It really is massive concern going forward. Can Manchester United do anything this season? I don't know, to be honest. I really don't. I was worried about it at the start of the season. I was not excited for this season, and I've just lost I'd lost all hope at the start of the season, to be honest. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of hope going forward with this season, but hopefully things can improve a bit. We will have to wait and see. Anyway, smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.